Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Spotify UI video. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's left comments and upvoted the post on Reddit. And you've given me some good advice and good tips. So the first thing that I want to tackle today is fixing some of the styling issues. And somebody commented on Reddit saying that if I applied box sizing border box to the elements, then the padding would become inside of the div instead of outside. So that's why there was an issue yesterday with the width with this, because I was putting 200 pixels, and then when I was applying the padding, it was actually making it wider than 200 pixels. So I'm just going to do that now on all elements. And if I'm talking funny, by the way, it's because I got a brace in. And yeah, I'm going to do, sorry, it was box sizing. I always forget to do this. So now the width has instantly come in a bit. Yeah. Secondly, oh yeah, I renamed, I was meant to rename one of my components, but I didn't. So in the main.js, I've still got it named as nav, but because it's in a main, it's the main.js component, we need to change it to main just to avoid confusion. It was still working because I was importing it as the default export, but yeah, that's resolved now. And I also changed app from function app to an arrow function, just because it's consistent with all the rest of my components. So yeah, and another thing I've done is I've also taken the icons from Spotify. I've done that by doing Command-Shift-C, go into the SVG, go into the SVG, copying it, and then I've made a folder inside sources called SVGs, and I've named them in here. So I've already done the home, the library, and the search icons. Just I thought I would save time as opposed to doing like a repetitive task. And yeah, I want to tackle getting them in today. Also, I don't know where the upper nav bar's gone. Let's just double check that. Upper main. Okay, because I changed nav earlier, I selected that text as well. Okay, so that's back now. Yeah, so those issues are now resolved. I want to add the icons in here, and I want to finish styling this part, and then we'll see how much time it's taken, and then I'll decide whether to continue on, because I do want to do the music controls to begin with, not to begin with, after I've done this, but I also do want to work on the React functionality. And I've noticed some stuff on Spotify where if you look at these elements here, as you bring the screen in, it actually removes an element, and it doesn't just hide it, it actually removes it from the DOM. So I think an exercise like that would be quite cool to work on. And I'd also like to do this harvest state today. So yeah, let's just jump straight back into it. Also, I've got my glasses on today, so I really mean business. Oh yeah, and then one more thing actually. I looked at what the font was called, and I seen they use circular. So I checked my font book, and I've actually got a circular font. I don't know if it's the same one. So I'm going to copy these, and then I'm going to import them into the project. So I'm going to do reveal in Finder. I'm going to make a folder called fonts. This is in the source directory. I'm going to paste them in there. I'm not sure if this is a free font or not. I'll try to find a link for you. And now I want to import these into my CSS by doing font at font face. Do font family. Call it circular book. And do source URL. And then do fonts book. And I'm going to set that as the body font. Font family circular book. And then I also want to do bold. Cool. So if we look at our application now, the font should be slightly different. Yeah, so it's slightly more like Spotify's. I don't know if it's the exact same one. Okay, so if you look at the nav bar, because we did the box sizing, I did like a quick hack workaround yesterday, but I can remove that now. I did height 100% minus 10 pixels. If I just do height 100%, hopefully, that has resolved that issue. The font's looking good. Let's just do the LI as font family circular bold. That's looking much better. And now let's import the SVGs. And to do that, it's a bit different from importing a component, because the SVGs are just SVGs. They're not actually, they don't have like a variable name. They're not being exported. We got to do React component as. Then I'm going to do home icon from. So what directory am I in now? I'm in nav. So I need to go back to /SVGs /home.svg. Then if I do that, we've imported the SVG for the home icon. Let's repeat that for search. Let's just capitalize those eyes. Okay, we're not going to be able to see it because the colour is the same colour as the background. And let's do the same for library. Save that, make sure nothing's broken. Now we know our CSS. Okay, so why is that not working? I tested these SVGs out earlier, and because I tried recording this video, then it broke because my internet connection isn't great today. And I got as far as this, and then I ditched it. Oops, what am I doing? Color fill. I think it's fill white. Okay, so the search icon is the same as home, so that must mean I've got the wrong SVG. Let's copy that. So this is what I did earlier, by the way. Nice. And library. Okay, let's charge my mic. My MacBook sounds as if it's going to explode or take off. So on that, in the li, I'm going to do SVG. I'm going to do fill current color. Cool. That's perfect. And let's see what the sizes are like. Okay. Let's see let's just test it in the browser instead. Li display. So I'm going to do display flex, align item center. This is on the li. So that's going to vertically align them. And then on the SVG, let's just do margin right. Let's do 10 pixels. Maybe a little bit more, 15 pixels. And then on the LIs, let's bring the padding down a little bit. So let's maybe do 0.6 rem. A little bit more. So we still want that to be 0.8. Okay. So let's change the padding on the li. Oops, that's actually Spotify. That's a good sign that I'm getting mixed up, because that means that we're doing it quite good. So padding 0.5 rem top and bottom, 0.8 on the sides. Also, let's just bring the padding above the logo down slightly. Okay. I mean, it's not going to be like pixel perfect. That's not like the aim, really. Let's make it 240 pixels. Navbar to 240 pixels. Let's close this and see how it looks. Okay, I'm actually going to bring the this up to 250. 260 maybe. Okay, that'll do. Cool. This harvest date. What should we do next? Okay. What I'm guessing they've done here is they've probably set the opacity of that to 0, because there's still actually there's a harvest date that it goes over. Okay, what we could do is, should I get let's just get the play icon SVG. By the way, guys, I know I'm taking the SVGs, but I just thought it was pointless me recreating them all in Illustrator, because I don't think there's much fun watching that. And so do I do it inside card? Underneath card content, I just want to do a, we'll do it as a span. Class name equals play icon. And then let's just do similar to what we did earlier. Let's do import React component as play icon from .svgs play.svg play icon. By the way guys, if you do spot anything which I could be doing better or differently, please let me know, because like I said, I'm not like extremely experienced with React. Built a few applications, but like I'm doing these series so I can learn and hopefully like share the experience with you. So yeah, I'm always open to learning. So now we got play icon. I just want to do this outside of card for now, because I don't know if this is used elsewhere. And let's do a width of 40 pixels, height of 40 pixels, and then do border radius 50% and overflow hidden. Let's just do display flex. And then I'm going to do SVG. I want to do margin auto. And let's just do the old trick, put background as red, just so I can see what's happening on the page. Boom, perfect. Let's get the green color. So on that button, I want to do a hover state on the div actually. Maybe okay, I can see the color here. So let's just make a new variable at the top of the page. Let me close that. Call it green main. Let's set the background as green main. And let's, I don't know whether to set the card as position relative. Add some additional padding to the bottom for now, and then position this absolute and right 0. Now we need to do right 1.2 rem. Actually, mine looks a bit weird because there's too much padding maybe. Okay, let's just leave this as relative, and then let's just take off that. Do margin left auto instead. This might change when we come down to the next bunch of elements, because if you look, these actually overlay the text. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I still got the right 1.2 rem on it. Let's just get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. I feel like it looks a bit strange. It's because of the padding here. Okay, that's the issue. The H3 has got margin underneath, so let's do margin bottom none. Also the spacing, is a letter spacing, 0.8 pixels, no, 0.6 maybe. So on the H3, let's also do letter spacing, 0.3 pixels. And now let's do opacity not. Then do on the card, on hover, let's target the play icon and do opacity 1. Quite similar. Okay, I think theirs is slightly 190. Okay, let's just leave it like that for now. Let's add the next section. I'm just going to do it in the code for now. I'm not going to change them to components just yet. Okay. Maybe I should move this position into here. The reason I did that is because we could make this into a reusable component in a bit. So now if I copy and paste this down, no, not like that. And let's change this to a H2. Set the H2 to the same size. And let's just change it to focus. Say focus. And we want to set on this cards wrap, let's set the padding on the bottom of 2 rem. .8 rem. And you may notice now we can't scroll past here on this element, so let's just do on cards, no, on main, let's just do overflow Y scroll, and we can now scroll up and down. But you also may notice on Spotify that the upper nav, this element here, is actually fixed. So let's actually fix that. Upper nav. I think fix will work. Okay. So what we can do is on top of main, let's set some padding just to make up for that. We don't want to do that. Let's do position relative. Okay, let's just do upper nav, top 0 first, and then add some padding. Oh, sorry, my head's in the way. We want to do padding top 3 rem. Let's just do Z index 2. And also, I noticed that the background is actually not grey nav. It's actually grey nav with an opacity slightly lower. So let's inspect that. Let's click this background. And let's change it to whatever it's on. Want a little bit more padding at the top, 3.4. It's looking good. Let's add this text in. I'll do a p tag and give it a class name, subtext. Oops. Do font size 0.5 rem. It might be the same size as the nav text actually. No 0.9 rem. Let's do the color grey text, and also in cars wrap, let's target the H2 and do margin bottom 0. I think the P's probably got some default styling on it as well. Do margin top, let's do 0.5 rem, 0. See, I want to see how it looks without this bar. Okay, so they've actually got a border, a black 1 pixel black border on top of the music control. Let's do border top 1 pixel solid black. Oh no, actually let's do the dark grey, grey dark. Cool. Okay, these active states need to be, let's just do color white. And then let's just do SVG, fill white. So whatever has got the active class on it, let's set the colors to white like they've got. And I want to duplicate, no, let's change this element a bit so it's got text in there. I wonder if we can reuse this P text. let's just change this to a span. I love using spans because they have no default styling on them, but I'm not sure if it's the best practice. Let's do font size 0.8 because I think, yeah, it is a bit smaller. The color is the grey text. They actually use a span as well. I like the style. Okay, so they've got it like split off after a certain amount of characters. We won't do that just yet. Let me just close these because they're bugging me. Just close the nav. I wonder, are these the same height? $260. Yeah, they're the same. They've actually got a fixed height on them. So let's change our cards. Okay, now let's change back the play icon to position absolute, right not, bottom not. Alright, we want to do the same padding. Maybe we can take that off again. No. Let's add some padding back to the bottom. Undo, 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 undo. Let's just get rid of that height for now. Maybe we can do a max height. Okay, let me just manually do this for now. We could do this in the JS later. And we do want the icon to be, we'll get this to work. Let's just do height 290. And let's do position absolute. To right not, bottom not again. Just so we can see it. It's better. Is it 2.8? 1.2 RAM. Get rid of that. Right, 1.2 RAM, bottom 1.2 RAM. This would have been resolved if I put the play icon instead of inside the content, instead of inside the card div. Still feels like it's slightly off. Anyway. Cool. Let's just duplicate these elements, these cards. I might need to do a new div plus. I just want to duplicate the card. What's happened here? Can highlight it all and do Alt Shift down. They're all going to be underneath. So on the inner wrap, we want to do display flex. I think there's a way of putting like sort of margin on flex without putting margin on the element. Is this space between? I don't know. Let me just put margin on it instead. Cards wrap in there. Let's do card. Now we can actually do this on the main card because it should apply to all cards. Margin right 0.5 and 0.8 RAM. Let's do 1 RAM. Let's do 1.2 RAM. And I feel like there should be some margin underneath this. So cards wrap in there. No. Let's do 1.5 RAM. Or let's just do the same as it is on the margin right, 1.2 RAM, so it looks in sync. Cool. Right, I think that's looking pretty good. I don't know how long the video's been on for. Maybe I'll stop here and then come back and then we can do maybe some of the functionality, or I think I want to get the React router going so I can actually go to the other pages, because there's a search page. I don't know if we should do that or not. It could be cool to do. Can't see that. Maybe I'll have to log in. But yeah, I just wanted to finish off the styling. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. There's a see all button there on the right. Maybe I can do that first. Let's just do... Let's just do another span. Class name. Go see all. I'll just do it in capital letters. I've done it in the wrong place. Let's remove that from there, and let's put it in between the H2 and subtext. And what we're going to do with that is, I think we could probably just float it to the right. I don't know. I don't like floating things. No, we don't want to do that. Tell you what, we'll sort that in the next video, because my computer sounds like it's going to explode now, and I want to make sure that I save this recording. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already. See you soon.